We've got a problem with our food supply, and the arrangement with America, which is going through at the moment, undermines all the agreements that are in place at the moment. It undermines our relationship with Ireland. It undermines the Irish border, and a lot of this has been done by sleight of hand, without consultation with the devolved powers in Scotland, in Wales, in Northern Ireland. What we are witnessing is not trade, it's surrender. And the UK-US economic prosperity deal is not merely a diplomatic handshake or a memorandum of communication and cooperation. It is, in effect, a dismantling of our own food sovereignty, conducted without consent and in a manner that mocks both Parliament and the public. So the deal has been passed through Parliament in a way that any self-respecting democracy would be horrified to witness. Ministers have used prerogative powers and statutory instruments to ram through regulatory changes, avoiding scrutiny under the Constitutional Reform and Governance Act 2010. So effectively, although it's gone through the systems, it's not been checked or debated or discussed in Parliament at all. They claim it's not a treaty, it's just a memorandum of understanding. But that's the trick. They're changing domestic law based on this supposedly non-binding agreement. That is constitutionally incoherent, ultimately, arguably ultra vires, and a judicial review is not only possible, it may be essential, and it may leave a lot of people with a lot of egg all over their faces. The so-called prosperity deal deregulates food standards under the guise of liberalisation and under the guise of a trade cooperation with America. So, to take two examples, SI 2025 number 18 quietly revokes EU-derived marketing standards for fruit, vegetables and organic produce. Number 753 does the same sort of thing for US beef and ethanol, removing inspection regimes and reporting obligations entirely. These aren't minor tweaks, they gut the frameworks that ensure food traceability, safety and consumer trust. So who benefits? Well, not the British farmers. It's capitulation to US agribusiness. And we're clearing the path for cheaper, lower standard imports that would be illegal under EU rules. Hormone-treated beef, chlorine-washed chicken, gene-edited cereals. And the losers for this is not just that this stuff is going to appear in the supermarkets, it's that British farmers must now compete in a deregulated market where standards are dissolving, yet they are still expected to maintain costly, high-quality practices. This is not a level playing field. It's a tilted pitch soaked in chemicals. And the UK government insists it remains aligned to the EU sanitary and phytosanitary standards, and that's demonstrably false. You cannot simultaneously revoke marketing standards, remove inspection frameworks, and open tariff rate quotas for non-compliant produce, and at the same time claim to uphold equivalence. This duplicity threatens UK-EU trade, it threatens Northern Irish supply chains, and it completely decimates domestic credibility. It isn't just about food. Ultimately, it's about the rule of law. The devolved administrations were not consulted. This breaches the Sewell Convention. Holyrood, the Welsh Assembly, the Irish Assembly and Stormont have been overridden on devolved matters including agriculture, planning and procurement. That is illegal. If this becomes precedent, any government can bypass devolution using foreign trade as some sort of Trojan horse. And behind this deal lies a broader ideological project. Deregulation aligned with the Heritage Foundation, with Tufton Street, and the deregulatory right. The National Farmers Union appears, at the moment, to straddle both camps, at times defending British agriculture, but often echoing the very deregulation agendum that it claims to oppose. So you have to ask, is the National Farmers Union a useful idiot or a strategic accomplice? And meanwhile, media figures like Jeremy Clarkson and politicians strapping on their wellies like Nigel Farage have reframed farm struggles as culture war fodder, obscuring the fact that it's their own allies who are selling farmers out. What is at stake here is the integrity of our food supply, the autonomy of our constitutional order, and the future of rural Britain. And British farming was once the backbone of our food security. Under this deal, it becomes collateral damage in a deregulation race to the bottom. This is not prosperity. This is betrayal of law, of principle, and of the British countryside. And we need to challenge this in the courts, in Parliament, and in public discourse. And let nobody say we weren't warned. You may not care about the quality of your potatoes, but you will care when the entire supply chain has been hollowed out to make way for imported slop wrapped in patriotic packaging.